Good afternoon and welcome to LIBOR's Wednesday webinar. My name is Mary Ann Monteleone, Vice President of Professional Development, and we are here today for part two of a very popular session that we had 2 or 3 weeks ago with our friend G. William James, the Google Universe, Google Business Profile Ads and SEOs, How to Get Discovered in Google Search Part 2. So before we begin, we have a huge turnout today. Before we begin, I don't want to eliminate anything about him. So let me just read the formal bio about William and then just introduce him as our friend. Since 1999, G. William James Consulting has been providing professional training on wireless smartphones, PDAs, mobile computers, and a growing list of wireless technologies for business and leisure. Trained by the engineers and market professionals from device manufacturers, William offers the most up-to-date training and productivity solutions available to realtors. G. William James is no stranger to LIBOR. He has presented at our education conference and, of course, at our MLS tech fairs. And we're so happy to have him back with us today presenting on this subject. So welcome back, my friend, and I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mary Ann, and thank you for reading that just like I wrote it. How about that? Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to part two of Google Business Profiles, Ads, and SEO. I am so glad that you're here because this information could potentially change your life. And all it takes is a little bit of effort and a little bit of imagination. And I think that you'll start to see your engagement with people actually grow because you're going to find yourself being discovered more by people searching on the internet just by using the tools that I'm going to share with you today. Now, we've got the Q&A open, we've got the chat open, and there'll be a few times that I'm going to stop and ask if people want to ask questions. There's a huge room today. So I'm going to leave time out for Q&A, make sure that anybody that has a question will get that question answered. So without further ado, let's go ahead and move forward. And I want to start by giving you some information on how to keep in contact with me. You can always reach me at my website at www.gwilliamjames.com. But of course, the fastest, easiest, and most efficient way is sending me an email, william@gwilliamjames.com. And I'm going to give you that opportunity in just a moment. Now, of course, you can follow me on my social media, and we're going to talk a little bit about social media and the importance of it as well. And I will be the first to admit that I am not the most savvy when it comes to using social media. I am getting better, but I literally myself had to hire a social media professional to help me to get better at what I do so that I can reach a larger audience and to get my message across as well. But that's something that we'll talk about later on in this session. Just to give you an idea, if you've not met me before, as Mary Ann said, I have a long-standing relationship with LIBOR. I've been to your training facility many times. I've spoken at your tech fairs, and I've been to Triple Play on multiple occasions as well. So I am known in the New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania markets with the trainings that I have provided, and I've been around for a long time. So I've watched the evolution of this technology, and I've always had a way to apply it to the entrepreneur, to the business professional, and specifically the professional real estate professional, the realtors and affiliated titles. So that's where we're going to talk about it today. Now, I told you I'd give you an opportunity to use my email address, and this is what I want you to do. Now, if you were in session 1 and you sent me this email to get the handout, you don't have to do it again because it's the same handout as from number 1. It's the entire session. If you did not attend part 1, please send me an email right now to william@gwilliamjames.com on your phone, your tablet, your computer, whatever, william@gwilliamjames.com. Now, in the subject line, I want you to type it in exactly as you see it. GBP space SEO space webinar. Using the magic of Gmail. And one of the things that I love to teach when I'm teaching the Google applications is how to automate your systems. Well, this is an automated system that allows me to deliver content to you simply by you sending me an email. So by you sending me that email to that address with that subject, it's going to come back to you, and the handout for today's session is going to be there. It's also the email that I would want you to use if you choose to contact me about questions that you might have, or if there's some services that I might be able to provide for you. All right, so let's get started. And I want to give you a really quick synopsis of what we covered in part 1. And I'm going to start by talking about the volume of searches that Google gets every single day. This is 2020, 2021 data, and it's probably larger by now, but if you can imagine, over 3.5 billion searches per day. We're talking about the #1 search engine in the #1 system on the planet. And the reason why I really want to emphasize this is because Google, as of 2021's data, they made 181, almost $182 billion just from this technology, from using all their services. Now, of that 181, almost 182 billion, 147 of that was from advertising revenue, Google search, Google ads revenue. All right, that just lets us know that this is where Google's focus is. They make their money advertising. They make money by putting you on the front page of the search engine. Okay, so keep that in mind when we talk about some of the things that we're going to talk about this afternoon. When you're creating your content, or when you're building your Google business page, or anytime you're working toward building your presence in Google search, think about this. Anytime you go on Google and do a search for anything, consider yourself Google's customer. And Google wants to provide you with the most up-to-date, relevant, and laser-targeted information results based on what you type in the search engine. All right, so this is what they want to do. Now, where are they going to get that information from? From you. If you are putting the content in that satisfies the algorithm, that's how you're going to get to the first page and to the top of the first page. And that's what we're going to talk about in part 2 today. All right, so why is SEO so vital to your business? For all the things that I talked about. Well, it's going to really help you to engage with the public. #1, it's going to give you a better user experience. It's going to give their customers a better user experience. It's going to improve your brand visibility and give people the opportunity to discover you, connect with you, and do business with you. It's going to help you reach that broader audience. So people use Google search engine from all over the planet. If they're looking for real estate in Long Island, then if they type in the right keywords, you should come back as the result. So that's what we want to focus on, okay? And then, of course, it's going to increase the chances of your conversion. If people can find you and engage with you, that gives you the opportunity to impress them and ultimately to sign a contract with them. All right, so it's going to come back and give you all kinds of data, and we're going to talk about how you can actually look into your Google business profile and get the metrics that will show you how effective your page is at some point. So with that being said, I just want to go ahead and move forward. So I want to skip some of these. You have all of these slides. You got the handout from me, either the first session or today. You have all of these. So what I would really want you to do is take some time and go through them and read them and learn this technology, because in the short period of time that I don't have the time to go through all of them extensively, but you really need to learn this because it's going to help you out tremendously. Now, the way Google does it now, they have 2 different ways of providing you with search results. One is called no-click searches, and that's when you see the ones that are in the Google business profiles, where they've aggregated organizations that have actually contributed their business profiles and they put them together. And then you have what's called organic search results, which is what we've been used to seeing all along. You typed in years ago, you typed in looking for a particular product or service, and what came back were links to their website or what have you. Those are called organic search results. And so the goal for Google right now is to keep you on the search results page as long as possible. Why? Because they've promised the people who have purchased ad space in Google that as a search person, you're not just going to come in, type in a search, and click on the first thing. They want you to see the ad-driven content. They want to see you. They want to give you the opportunity to see what they have paid for and to engage with them. So Google wants to keep you as the person doing the search in as long as you possibly can on the search result page. Here's another version of the newest version of Google search. If you were searching for an airline or a hotel, for example, it's going to aggregate these types of things to the point where you could literally book a hotel without even going to a website or going to the hotel's website. And this one, I believe the one you're looking at is probably like Travelocity. So they paid for this space to be able to, right there from the search engine, allow you to put in the dates that you want to travel, the location that you want to travel to, and then give you all the options. So if I put in, the Galleria in Dallas, Texas, it gave me all of the dates that were available to me and the prices. I could book without even going to Travelocity's website. So Google really wants to keep you engaged in the search engine as much as possible. And when you come back, notice that they put the ads, and I'm going to put the circle around here so you can see the ad-driven content tends to go to the top of the list because that's what Google has promised people who have purchased ads. Do you have to purchase ads to get to the top of the list? Maybe not. So we're going to talk about the differences and what the algorithm can do for you as well. This is what your Google page would look like on a mobile device. So it's all about having things laid out in a certain way. If I want to call, you just tap on the call button. And if you're on your phone, it would just go ahead and dial the organization. So it's really, really handy, convenient, and ready to go. Now, one thing we talked about last week was about being Google Screen. Now, what does that mean? Google Screen, for certain companies and certain industries, Google will do a background search and background check on you, check your credibility, and they will come in, and if they give you that green check, they're basically giving you their good housekeeping seal. So let's say if I did a Google search for realtors in Long Island, the search results come back as such. The first thing that pops up are the Google screened realtors. Now, what that means is that these people have gone through the background check. They've gone through and they've been found to be reputable companies or individuals in the marketplace, and Google will put them up there. Now, if I click on more real estate agents, it's going to show me all of the ones who have been Google screened, right? But how did the ones get to the top of the page? Well, look at this. If I come over here where it says sponsored in that little I, it says these results show specific businesses that serve your area. Businesses displayed above the blue horizontal separator pay Google to appear in these results. You see? So being Google screened is not, they don't charge you. It's free to be Google screened. However, you can add to that by being a part of their ads program, and that will push you up even higher. Now, you also have to be diligent about your content as well, because the algorithm still wants to see what you have to offer. Just because you paid and you got Google screen doesn't mean that you have the best services to offer. So we want to make sure And Google wants to make sure that the algorithm provides you with the most up-to-date, most relevant information. So that's going to play a part in that too. So we're going to look at that. So these are the Google screen individuals when I typed in realtors, Long Island, New York. Now, if I go back, below that, see, here are the ad-driven entries right here at the top, right below the Google screen. And then these are the no-click results, as we said, real estate agencies, and there are plenty of those. And if you click on that, you see the ad-driven ones go to the top. They're marked in green, where the rest are marked in red, you see? So you have the ability to push yourself up if you are in the Google ad program. Doesn't mean you have to be. And I will talk about the pros and cons of being in the ads program, but you don't have to be. Especially as long as you're keeping your content up to date. We're going to talk about that specifically. And then here are the organic search results. Remember, I showed you that before. Now, I'll also talk about how these get ranked as well. Realtor.com is first, CoachRealtors.com is second, Yelp was third, okay? LIRealtor.com was 4. Douglas Elliman Real Estate Organization was behind that. How did they get ranked as such? Well, we're going to talk about the science of search engine optimization. So let me go back to the presentation very quickly. And let's talk a little bit about the technology itself. All right. So if I give you an idea of what the technology works and how it works, it's going to help you to get a better understanding of how you should approach your content development and what have you. So that's why I put this in. All right. So search engine optimization is your ability to optimize or to increase your probability of being discovered in a Google search based upon the query or the words that a person types into the search engine. So that's the technology. Now, how does it work? Here are the 3 top factors of being discovered in Google search. Number 1, content. Okay, I've been using that word over and over again, and we're going to explain what content is and how you can use this content to get yourself to the top of the page in Google. Number 2, links. Links, or what they call backlinks. This is the science of SEO and getting your name out there into third-party organizations and getting them out there on other sites and getting recognized by other organizations is going to lend its hand in getting you higher on the search result page. And then number 3, RankBrain. RankBrain is the technology that Google uses. This is the brainchild of their algorithm. And I'm going to explain all of this in just a second. All right, now, all search engines have what's called a spider or a crawler. Google calls theirs the Google bot. Now, what the Google bot does, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it does nothing but go through websites, site after site after site, millions and millions of websites and web pages and social media all day long. That's all it does. It searches and it's looking for keywords, it's looking for photographs, it's looking for content. Okay, that's how, if you were looking at a website for a particular car, let's say you were looking at a Mercedes website, or you typed in Mercedes in the search engine, and then you looked up in your Facebook, you see an ad for Mercedes-Benz. It's because the Google bot is finding that content and it's trying to reply and provide you with up-to-date information. Okay, that's what the crawlers do. Billions of pages on the web, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, all it does is grab and record. That's all it does. Now, it will take that information and pass it off to the RankBrain. Now, RankBrain is artificial intelligence. This is the subjective part of the algorithm. This is the part that takes the data that the Googlebot provides and decides what's going to be the best content, the best information to provide to the customer that's doing the search in the first place. And this is the one that you have to impress. You've got to provide the information to the Googlebot, but you've got to impress the rank brain if you want to get to the top of the page. Even if you are paying ads, it's going to help getting you pushed to the top, but it's not going to help you if you don't have new, up-to-date, laser-focused information. If you paid for ad space in Google and your data is 2 years old, that's not going to help you very much. Okay, so the Googlebot and the rank brain, this is the algorithm. This is what works together to provide the consumer, the person doing the search, with the most up-to-date, the most relevant, and the most laser-targeted information. Now, how does the rank brain work? What does it use as a criteria to make its decisions? All right, you may start to see how this is starting to come together, which is why I'm breaking this down. It ranks by this criteria. Number one, unique visitors to a site. When I just showed you the organic search results on the realtors in Long Island, New York, you saw realtor.com, then you saw the others ranked below them. Now, why did realtor.com rank higher than the rest? Well, more than likely because of the nature of the site. It's not just local to Long Island, New York, or the state of New York. It's a internationally accessed website by millions of people all day long looking for real estate everywhere in the US. They get a lot of unique visitors. And so the algorithm will push them up just based on that alone. And then the useful quality content of the site. People are constantly taking down old data and uploading new data into the realtor.com website. So there's always fresh new information that the Googlebot is finding that's going to pass that information off to the rank brain. Okay. Now, number three, the quality of backlinks to the site. Now, I'm going to break down backlinks specifically because this is going to be huge for you, and it's something that you could easily do to help you get where you want to be. And then number four, the actual time people spend on a website. So think about the last time that you did a Google search and you clicked on a site and you went there looking for some specific information and it just wasn't there, or it was hard to navigate. So you clicked off and went somewhere else. And then you found a website that was much better laid out. It was much easier to navigate, to do the search, and to find what you were looking for. And voila, you found yourself in there longer. Well, the algorithm sees that you were only in the first site maybe 30, 45 seconds a minute before you clicked off, meaning that what you were looking for was not there. They don't like that. And then you went to the second site and you were there 15 minutes. That it wants to see because it wants you to find the information that you're looking for. So it will basically take the one that you only saw for 45 seconds to a minute or so and start to push it down, especially if they see it trending that way. So time spent on a site is going to rank as part of the artificial intelligence or the algorithm in Google. So this is why I'm trying to get you to understand that when you start presenting content, and the more content that you create, the more up-to-date, the more relevant and laser targeted, that's what the rank brain wants to display and give to the customer. So if you're diligent about this, you can pretty much guarantee your success. All right. And then there's BERT. Now, this is really radical technology. This is a natural language processing tool that Google developed as part of their artificial intelligence. It basically takes the words, it'll take the words in a sentence, thinking that, everybody's not going to ask for the same thing the same way, but it's going to kind of assume that you're looking for a certain thing. And it's going to kind of lead itself into saying, well, maybe, they were looking for, this. If you put in real estate Long Island by the lake. Well, they're saying, okay, well, they're looking for real estate near the water, near lake. Then that's BERT. Just kind of basically taking your idea and kind of stretching it. And so you'll see that when you look at your research results, it'll show you that people also searched for, or here's some other ideas that you might be looking for. That's what BERT does. Okay. Now, content, going back to number one, content is king. What is content? Anytime you type any information that is publicly available, the algorithm can see it. It's going to be considered content. That includes what you put up in TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn, your social media platforms, Twitter. All of that is connected to the internet and it's publicly available, and the algorithm sees it and reads it. If it can associate it with you, it will be a benefit to you, or it will be associated with you, especially if you're putting in content and you put your website on the link, or if you put a link to another page on the link, or to your Google business page. Any of that that associates back to you, that's content. If you have a blog and you put your website on that blog, you put your email address on that blog, that's content. Now, one of the things that amazes people is that the tools of the Google universe, when I talk about the tools of the universe, I'm talking about Gmail, Google Calendar, Google Drive and all of its components, Google Photos, YouTube, all of these Google tools, they all play a very big role, because you can create very powerful and very effective content that will be publicly displayed through those applications. And I'm going to show you an example of that in a little bit using Google Calendar. Okay. So content is everything. All right. Now, what else is content? Links. All right. Links or backlinks. These are huge, ladies and gentlemen. And the better off you are by using backlinks or having backlinks associated with you, this is what the algorithm really wants to see. For an example, let's say that the local newspaper wrote an article on you because, not only are you a successful realtor in the Long Island market, you also contribute to Habitat for Humanity or whatever it is that's going on. You're community oriented, and they do a story on you. And in that story, they put your website, and that website on their blog is clickable. That's another part of it that's necessary. It's something that the person reading the article can click on that leads to your website. That's called a backlink. Now I can expand this and say, if it links to your Google business profile, same thing. If it leads back to you, it's called a backlink, and it is huge because you're getting endorsements from a third source of information that's not directly associated to you. So the newspaper or the local television station, or if LIBOR did a profile on you for the online magazine, but for an example, and it put your link there, that's called a backlink, and the algorithm really loves to see that. So they really will push you up even faster if you've got backlinks. So how do you get backlinks? Well, social media posts are backlinks. If you put your website in your content, let's say in your Facebook, and you do a little video on how to secure your home using landscaping, or how to stage your home to get it ready for putting it on the market. And then you mention, you can always reach me at, marysmithrealtors.com, whatever the case may be. That is a backlink. And you type in to link to that too, that's a backlink. It counts. All right. Public calendar events. I'm going to show you that. If you've got YouTube videos up, if it's got your your website address on the description, it's a backlink and it works and they're effective. All right. So you get easier and higher ranking traffic if you associate your site with your backlinks. Okay. So how do you get backlinks? Well, a trusted authoritative site will lead back to you, that lead back to your site, like a newspaper, television station, uh, industry newsletter, anything like that. A trusted authoritative site that will lead to your getting raised in the search engine results. Make sure that the text contains a keyword that links to your information. So make sure that it says that, you know, you're a trusted realtor in the market. The word realtor will lend itself to the algorithm. And then your site being clickable is going to add to that. All right. Make sure that the anchor site, the site that's actually putting your information in, is related topically to your site. So if it's a newspaper or the local television station, that's fine because they're providing news. If it's the real estate website, related website, or if it's a blog that people write about, you know, the community, chamber of commerce, things like that, it's related topically. You don't want to see a blog written by the local car repair dealer putting it in there and putting your site in there. That does not relate topically. And the algorithm may even see that negatively. And number 4, make sure that the link that they put in there is called a do follow link. And I said that it's clickable. So when they put it in there, just make sure that anybody reading that article or reading that content can click on it and it would lead back to your website or to your Google business profile page. Okay. And if you have your own blog or your own vlog or your own YouTube channel, that is a great place to add backlinks. All right. So that's what you want to do. Now, let me go ahead and skip through this and let's go back. Let's go back to the internet. I don't want to go back to that. Okay. So this is where we started. I typed in realtors in Long Island. So that's how we got the Google screen. We got the organic search results and we got the one-click search results. Okay. I'm going to change the words that I write here. And I'm going to put in real estate in Long Island and look at the difference. Okay. The words written in bold in the descriptions tell us everything. It says the word real estate. It says the word real estate. The first 4 are ad driven. That's why they're at the top. If we look below that, now we see Redfin pops in with Long Island homes for sale. It says the word real estate. Okay. It also says homes for sale. So think about it. This is important. And you may want to pay attention to this the next time you do Google search results. You want to see there's a difference in typing real estate and homes for sale. Because if I change this to homes for sale, the list may change. Why? Because the algorithm is going to give me exactly what I'm looking for. There's homes, there's still real estate, but see the list changed? You see? So when people are typing in their search query, the algorithm is going to try and help as much as they can. Bert, this is where Bert gets involved. He tries to find exactly what you're looking for based on the words that you type. But it's important that in your content, you make sure that these words are included in all of your descriptions. See, this one has homes for sale. It also has real estate. It's got Long Island. It's got everything that the person is looking for. Now, where do you put this content? Okay, I'm going to give you a really powerful tip. Let me come over here and I'm going to open up my Google Calendar. And let's say that today I have an open house scheduled. And so I'm going to actually add a new event today. And I'm going to put in open house. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to put in all the information that I need to create this open house. Now, this is how you can use the tools of the Google universe to maximize your presence in Google, how to optimize your search results, and how to get noticed. This is content, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to say I got an open house coming up, and let me put in all the information that I need to put in. So I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to change this to a different category. Well, actually over here, I don't have an open house calendar. I would create a calendar here. And so what I want you to do is I'm going to be doing a presentation coming up very soon on how to maximize your time management using the Google Calendar. This is going to be part of that. And I want you to be there for this because it's going to be very valuable information that you can't miss. But I'm going to take this default visibility and I'm going to make this particular event public. Not all of my calendar, just this event. I'm going to make it public. Now, what am I going to do after that? I'm going to put in the time. And then I'm going to put in the location. So let's say I put in 112 Forest Avenue, Long Island, New York. I'm just typing in an arbitrary ad. Okay, and so that'll be the address of the property. And then I have a space that I can type in information. So I'm going to put in a description. So I can put in luxury home in Long Island, okay, close to public transportation, letting them know it's easy to get to the NJT, or I'm sorry, not the NJT, the LIRR. All right. So I can put in Long Island Railroad. People in the area, they know LIRR, but you could put that in too. Okay. Or you may want to put in commute on the Long Island Railroad. Okay. You may want to put in best schools in the neighborhood, in the market. Okay. In the zip code, you want to put in the zip code, whatever the zip code is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Anything that you think would be relevant to that property, you're going to put it in there. Okay. You want to make it attractive to all different types of people. So it could be close to the university or to the hospital. Okay. Every word that you type here is a keyword. It is going to be read by the algorithm. And this is how the search results pop up. So I could put in best real estate value in the area. And I have many homes for sale. Okay. Now, say that now it's made public. It's a publicly listed event. Now, if somebody were to type in that address in a search engine, the open house event could possibly pop up. If it doesn't, don't worry about it, because the most important part of this process is that the Google bot will see it. And it will help you to become part of this result. Okay, because excuse me, you put in homes for sale, you put in real estate, you put in Long Island. And what if somebody typed in homes for sale near the Long Island Railroad? Let's see what happens. Or the LIRR. You see that? Long Island Railroad, New York State, matching Long Island Railroad. You see? walk to LIRR. You see, the keywords make all the difference in the world, which is why I gave you in the handout a list of very useful real estate keywords. I want you to go through these, and I want you to create your content keeping these words in mind, whichever fits. Now, you also want to incorporate the more local keywords too, like LIRR. That would not be relevant to everybody across the country, but if you're in Long Island, that's a huge part of your information, okay? You want to make sure that all of the big corporations that people are attracted to, if they're coming from California to work at the hospital or one of the big accounting firms or whatever, if it's in Long Island, if it's an easy commute on the LIRR. You see, you want to be able to illustrate that because you're thinking about how people are going to search. So I gave you 3 full pages of top real estate keywords for you to choose from, but only to spark your imagination. Because every time you create a bit of content, I just showed you how to do it in Google Calendar. Here's one I showed you. If you were here last time, you saw this before, and I want to do it again. I want to do it one more time for the people who weren't there before, because to me, this is probably one of the best examples that I've ever used. I'm going into Google Drive, and I'm going to put in, I'm going to look for Google Sites. And this is one of those tools that will allow you to create your own websites, your own single page websites. And I'm looking for a specific one that I created as an idea. I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to change accounts right here real quick, and I'll find it. But I mean, this changes the game, everybody. And this is why I teach Google the way that I do, because it is designed for you to win and to give you the tools for you to succeed, and they don't cost you anything. Now imagine every time you get a new listing, you come into Google Drive, and I promise you, I teach this and I make it simple and plain for you to see. Let's say that you come in and every time you get a new listing, you come into Google Drive, come into Google Sites, and you create a single page website for that listing, okay? Now, remember the concept of the keywords. Everything I need here. Here's the word luxury. Here's lifestyles. Here's my name, my information. Here is the address of the property. There's the price. There's the zip code. All right. And then in the description, I make sure that I put in everything that I think would be relevant to the person that's searching, as well as what's going to activate the algorithm. Okay. So I made sure that I said I was 45 minutes from downtown Atlanta. Okay. 25 minutes from the airport. All right. People search based on this criteria. It's a gated community. I put that in there. These keywords are always there. Here's the interstate, right? I put in the county, the state. I made sure I use the word suburban, country, metro Atlanta, you see? So you just have to use your imagination as to how you want to use those keywords to strengthen your position in the search results. Here's a YouTube video that's going to help. All right. You could put your business card here, and trust me, the algorithm can read the information off of your card, and every word there is a keyword, you see? And as I scroll down, then I can put in a whole gallery of photos. I'm not limited. And if you want to put in more photos, click here, and there's a link using Google Photos that would take you to 100 more pictures. So you don't have to put them all on the site. If you want to see more photos, click on the link. There's an active link to Google Photos where you can see the rest of um, the listing photos. The open house can lead directly to your calendar event. You see, just put a link. You made it public. You also have a link for it. Take it right there, and in your Google business profile, and I'll show you that in just a second, you can come in and actually put in this event and have people RSVP. So let's take a look at that. I'm going to put in Google business profile, and let's go ahead and move in, and here's my Google business profiles. Now, what you're looking at here on my screen will be a little different from yours, because what you see is there's my business profile, but I also manage the page of a few other realtors. These are 2 in California, and I've got another account that I have probably 3 or 4 more. I manage their pages for them, and it works very well in their favor because they're very busy realtors, and they send me content. I make sure that it gets in the right place. I put in their keywords, and they get the results from it. But listen, if I go to my profile, this is my own Google business profile. All this information is here, right? But I'm going to take one step back, and I'm going to go into the actual settings of the profile. And in one of the case here, here's a place for posts. So you can create posts just like you do on your social media. So I can say here, I've got a new event coming, and I'm going to post my first event, and it's called Open House 123 Main Street, 03245. Okay. And then I can add a time in and say it's going to be on this particular date from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Okay. You want to add more details, you could put in, this is a beautiful 3,400 square foot house, perfect near the LIRR, all of the keywords that you want to put in. And then here, you can add a button. So people can click on learn more, call now, sign up. If you click on sign up, here's a link for the button, and they can sign up using your email address or using a link to your calendar or any other RSVP type tool that you might have, so that they can come in and put their name, address, and phone number in there. Capture it. Could be on your website. All right. If you have a capture page on your website for, how you ask people for more information, right there, they put in their name, address, and phone number. And when they save it, you can actually have Gmail send out an automatic reply that would confirm their RSVP to come to the event. So you publish it, and then you can actually, once you're done, you can share it. Let me go back. You can actually click on share, and now you can share the same event with Facebook, Twitter, email it out to people. You could put it in Instagram, you can put it in LinkedIn. All you have to do is copy the link text and put it in there. So the tools are here to make it so that you can actually win, right? Now imagine I just took an event and turned it into, I just took a post out of here, open house this Saturday, or creating an event. Somebody came to this link, they clicked on it, and it took them to my Google My Business page, or took them to my calendar so that they can RSVP and join us, right? Whether or not people see this page or not is irrelevant. when you create this page and you make it public, when you publish it and you make it public, the algorithm sees it and all of the keywords associated with it. So this is what you want. This is what you need. All right. So the tools of the Google universe, again, are designed to help you win. All right. They're there to make you create the content and create the opportunities for people to notice you and for you to get connected to. So as I get ready to get into the Q&A, I want to just give you a couple of tips here. Okay. Now, this is for your website as well as for your Google business profile page. Use your metadata properly. Now, what is metadata? Don't let the word confuse you. Basically, we're talking about using the right keywords, okay? Using descriptions. You notice that when you do a Google search, read the search results again, read the secondary part of it, and notice that people are creating small, short paragraphs, 2 or 3 sentences long. Google wants to see that in a coherent structure using the keywords that you want the algorithm to find, but they're actual sentences creating a small paragraph. Okay, that's metadata. You want to avoid duplicate content on your Google business profile, on your website, on your social media. You want to avoid the duplicate content. When I say on your social media, you can put the same thing on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, but you don't want to put it more, you don't want to create and duplicate it on the same platform. Okay. I mean, unless you're doing it in subsequent days, that kind of thing. But you want to avoid duplicate content, especially on your website. Okay. If you've got reviews and testimonials, showcase them. Get as many of them as you can. I get a common question people ask if I can take my reviews from Zillow and add them to my Google business profile page. Well, I have not discovered a way to do that. They're 2 different platforms, and I don't think that there's really any bridge between them. But if you're getting results, reviews from people in Zillow, simply send them the link from your Google business profile page and ask them to rank you on there. If they gave you a good review in Zillow, I'm sure they'll give you a good one in Google business profile. Same thing on your website. Just ask them to review. In fact, there's a way in Google business profiles that you can actually just create a link. You can email it to people, text it to people, put it on social media. If you've ever done business with me, click on this link and rank me or rate me, please. That kind of thing. Okay. I put in here again to understand the idea of backlinking. Get people who blog, people who are community oriented, get people who are writing about the market in which you work to write about you, to put your link to your Google business profile or to your website on that article, make it clickable and get the backlink off of it. All right. Number 8, this one is huge. Stay on top of your activity. Now, as I kept saying earlier, Google wants the most up-to-date, most relevant, most targeted content based on the keywords that it can find. Now, if your content is 2 weeks old, it's not going to rank as high as if it were 24 hours old or 12 hours old. So you can either create new content or refresh the content that you have. If you've got YouTube videos that you've had up for the last month, go into that YouTube video and go into the description and change something. Change a couple of words around, add something to it, take something out of it, and save it again. By saving it, it becomes fresh, new content. Something as simple as that can update your content and your algorithm will see it differently. Okay, so you want to be constantly adding and updating your content. The better off you are with that, the better off you'll be. Okay, submitting your sitemap is more technical, and if you have a webmaster, a person who manages your website, contact them and ask them to create your sitemap and let them know the reason why is because you want to ultimately use Google Analytics. Now, That's a really kind of advanced type of thing. But once you get it, it's real simple to read, because basically all it is a weekly report of the metrics, unique visitors to your website, you know, demographic information, things of that nature, that will help you to determine how effective your website is in attracting and maintaining, building relationships, and what have you. So Google Analytics is a really powerful tool. It's free, just like everything else in the Google universe. But a sitemap is something that would be very helpful, because a sitemap is something that the algorithm reads. The Googlebot reads your sitemaps. Instead of going to all of your pages, if you have a sitemap, Google will read that first, and it will just record it and keep going. So that will be a benefit to you as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with a few Q&A here. Natasha asked, can you share any tips for creating a free QR code that can be placed on single page websites or flyers? Well, you know, thank you for that, Natasha. And I am so glad that people are starting to actually use QR codes, because they've discovered how effective they are. I mean, they've been out for forever. And when they first started using QR codes, I was one of their biggest advocates, and it never caught on for some reason. But now everybody wants to use QR codes. I think it's because the Google lens on your cameras and whatnot had gotten so much better at reading them. I think that became one of the reasons why. What I would simply do, Natasha, is simply just Google that free QRC code, and it'll walk you through the process on how to write your content or put in your links, and it will generate the QR code for you. It's simply an image. So at that point, you just need to copy and paste that image anywhere you think it would be relevant. You know, if you're going to put it on your business card, or you're going to put it on your website, or on your Google business page, people will be able to capture it and go to your other content. That will be perfectly fine. But yes, just Google free QR code content, and I think you'll be able to find the steps on how to make it happen relatively easy. Eileen asked, do you recommend agents having landing pages or full websites with several pages as their personal websites? Well, as it stands today, Eileen, websites are still pretty popular, but I'm one of the people who have been saying for the last couple of years that in 5 years, you won't need a website. And your Google business profile is a perfect example as to why. Because on your Google business profile, everything that a consumer needs to know about you, where you are, who you are, your reviews, the products and services that you provide, it's all there. And so having a website would not be as effective anymore moving forward, because you have this tool. And this is one of the goals that Google had. They want to keep you on their page. They don't want to have you linking to the website. It's there if you want it. But at this point, just keep your Google business profile page up to date, and you will find that you'll probably get less visits to your website, because the information that people want to know is right there in front of them on the Google search results page. Okay. You know, Lisa says she's thank you so much for the amazing information. I always feel like I left you wanting, because there's so much more to this. There's so much to this, and I could talk about this longer than I could, but this is what I want you to do. I want you to keep in contact with me. If you have those questions, and I got a number of you asking me questions after the first webinar, part 1, and I was able to help many of you to answer some of those questions and get through a few hurdles. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to provide you with the information so that you can be successful in using these tools. Okay. Now, I'll finish up with this part. Okay. You saw earlier that I have a few agents that I prepare or maintain their business profile. Some people I just prepare it and then pass it on to them, but others I actually maintain their website. Their business profile for them. And you saw that when you looked at my own page, you saw the other agents that I work with. And all they do basically is when I need new content, I'll say, send me some new listing photos, send me some content. If they got an article written about them, send it to me so that I can upload the information and put it on there. If they have an event coming, I'll add it to their profile. And once a month, I will get some analytic data about them, and I share this back with them. And I'm going to come back to the Q&A, but I want to show you one of the things that I get. If I go to my email here, that's my calendar. Let me go to my email. And I will show you, this is what I get as part of, you should get these analytic reports back too. And it really does come in handy. All right. This is one of the people with whom I manage her Google business profile page. And I get these emails every month with analytic data about their profile. So she got 56 interactions last month. All right. We don't have the phone calls turned on. So she didn't get phone calls. We don't have messages turned on. We just have links directly to their email or their mobile phones. Okay. She got 83 profile views, which was down from the month before, but she got 25% more website visits from her profile. You see, so you'll see this fluctuate from month to month just based on the information that you have. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to look at these, this is her metrics. So she got more profile interactions. It went up from the month before, right? 83 people visit her business profile, up 66%. And it even shows us how they did it. Did they do it on desktop or mobile devices? You see? Search breakdown, they found her on Zillow. You see? It's giving us all this information. If I want to look at people ask for directions to her office, it went up over the month. You see? And how many website clicks did she get? It went up 25% as opposed to a year before. You see, so the analytic tools are there to help you decide what's going to work best for you. Okay. So I want to illustrate that to you because Google really wants you to win at this. They really want you to win. All right. So let me get back to these questions here. And Donna asked, can you email me and for the handouts? No, I want you to send me the email. Donna George, here's the address right there. William@gwilliamjames.com. And in the subject, put in SBP SEO webinar. It'll come back to you automatically. I want to really illustrate the power of Google automation for your own business. These tools really work. When I teach people how to use Gmail, they are amazed. Everybody's got a Gmail account. Millions of people have Gmail accounts, and less than 1% know how to use it. And if you're in business, there are so many ways that you can use your Gmail account for your own benefit. It is absolutely amazing. Okay. Amy asks, can you show us quickly where we can get the link to send customers to review us on Google? Absolutely. Let me go back to my Google business profile. And let me get out of this presentation here. And I'm going to go to my Google business profile. Here it is. And I'm going to go to my home page. So go to your home page and scroll down toward the bottom. And right here, it says get more reviews, share review form. And you click on that, and here's the link. So you can just copy that link and either email it, paste it into a text message or what have you, or you can put it on social media. And when people get it, that's what it's gonna open up the link to their review. They can click how many stars that they want to give you, and they can write whatever details about it they want to write. It's really that simple. And I use it all the time. In fact, you might be surprised. You might see that too. Is this recorded so you can view parts 1 and 2 together? I think Mary would answer that question live. Okay.
Yes, I can answer, sure. Yes, it is, and you can go to lirealtor.com/Wednesday dash webinars. I put it in the chat. So lirealtor.com/Wednesday dash webinars. And it'll bring you to the page where this will be listed as the most recent, and Williams part 1 and all of the others. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Mary. Okay. So Maria asked, I thought the Google business page was eliminated. No, it's gone through another evolution. It was called Google My Business. And what they did was they wanted to add some features to it. They wanted to integrate it more closely with the Google Maps application. And so basically they just rebranded it. It's now called Google Business Profile. So no, it's not eliminated. In fact, you should consider this to be the future of Google searches. And for certain industries, Google Business Profile pages are designed for that purpose, realtors being one of them. If you're a lot of businesses don't qualify, but if you are in a service business, then you would qualify as a candidate to use Google Business Profiles, and you can get verified in Google Screen, which was Lisa's question right behind you. How do I get Google to verify me? Well, if you got the handout, Lisa, when you see the section on Google Screen, the second page of Google Screen has a link there. And right there if you're watching, you're reading it from your computer, you can hit Control and click on that link. It'll take you to the Google page that will allow you to fill out the information about your business. And in a couple of days, they'll come back and tell you that you've been screened and they found you to be reputable in your community as a realtor, and they will put you in the list of Google screened agents. Now, they will probably also follow that up with a question, with a call about whether or not you want to use Google Ads. It's up to you. In fact, what I would suggest is if you go to your Google Business Profile where you're setting it up, most of you will see a link that will allow you to use Google Ads for free for a period of time. They'll give you maybe $100 or even up to $500 to use the Google Ads program on their dime and see how effective it is for you. It's going to push you up the rankings list, especially if you have good content. And what the good thing about it is, from that perspective, is they don't charge you unless and until someone clicks on your link. So if nobody clicks on the link, you never get charged. But the moment they do, they meter a dollar or two, or whatever they're charging, to take it off of your account. So they'll give you at least $100 to try them out and see if it works. And if it's effective for you, you may discover that it will be worth the investment, especially if it's going to get you noticed that much easier on the first page and the top of the search results. And if you're Google screened, as you saw, the top of the top were the Google screened agents that were also invested in the Google Ads program. I'm not here to endorse that, but I am here to say that you saw the rankings on the page yourself. Okay, Lisa says, what was your email again? Please come, it came back undeliverable. It's william@gwilliamjames.com. Yeah, I'll put it back on the screen. It's william@gwilliamjames.com. And that's for everybody who needs to see that. It's right there on the screen so that you can send me that email. Okay. Vincent says he missed the beginning. Yes. Mary just said that the recording will be available to you, and there will be links that will be you will find that be able to watch parts 1 and 2. And
I could say it again, William. It's
Okay.
lirealtor.com/Wednesday-webinars. I put it in the chat. lirealtor.com/Wednesday-webinars. Okay, and if you could tell them, William, about our next program, since these.
Oh, yes. Thank you for reminding me, because we're going to be wrapping up pretty soon. On August 24th, just 2 weeks from now,
Yeah.
August 24th, I'm going to be doing a webinar on the Google Calendar, and it's called Google Calendar Magic. Now, just because you got a Google Calendar or you're using some other type of calendar system, don't assume that this is not relevant content for you, because I'm going to approach it from two different perspectives. Number one, I'm going to share with you my principles of time management that a lot of us as entrepreneurs and business owners don't adhere to. And because of that, we fail to really get things done the way that we really should or could. I'm going to talk about that. But also, as far as the Google Calendar system is concerned, in my opinion, you'd be hard pressed to find a better, more effective system for maintaining your time management, for keeping your appointments, keeping your events, organizing them in a unique way, and sharing them with people that are relevant to you, be it your family, be it your assistant, be it your organization, whomever that you want to share calendar events with. This technology is designed for you to succeed. And I want to give you that capability by giving you this webinar on August 24th. And what I showed you about making that public event so that it shows up on your SEO, we're going to review that as well. I'll just have some time to really break it down. Okay. So you will be able to get that. All right. All right. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and finish up. And I just want to say, listen, everybody, thank you for being a part of part 2. I hope I covered everything. And it's difficult for me to feel like I've given you everything, because there's so much more to share. And if there's something that I can answer for you, if there's something that you've been intrigued about, if you're comfortable with this and you want to know some of the advanced features, please use me as your resource. Allow me the opportunity to connect with you and to answer those questions for you. And if I can be of service to you, if you would like to get more information about me creating and updating your Google business profile or maintaining it, just email me at that address, william@gwilliamjames.com, and I will get back with you and follow up. It's pretty much foregone conclusion. That's what I do sometimes all day, answering your emails. So please reach out. All right. So
I'm going to say thank you.
yes, thank you so much.
Thank you for being with us again, and we look forward to having you back. And thank you for everyone who joined in today. This is a service to our members, our how-to ever since we went remote with COVID. We've been conducting our Wednesday webinars with special educators such as William. So join in next Wednesday, and then the following Wednesday is Google Calendars with William. And don't forget, it's lirealtor.com/Wednesday-webinars.
I appreciate all of you. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks.
Great. Have a good day.
Thank you, everybody. Take care. Goodbye now.